Have you ever stopped to think about what it actually takes to get a live football game or the nightly news onto your screen without a single hiccup? Well, it's not magic, that's for sure. It's a super high-stakes world of technology that most of us never get to see. So today, let's peel back that curtain and take a look at the hidden world of modern broadcast IT. Okay, just look at this picture. This is not your average office cubicle. This is a broadcast command center, the nerve center for a live production. What you're looking at is a place where millions of dollars and the eyeballs of millions of viewers are on the line every single second. The pressure in a room like this is just immense. And the technology, well, it has to be absolutely flawless. And to really understand this world, we are going to go deep. This is the very first part of a 10-part explainer, and it's all based on this incredible research report called Modern Television Information Technology Requirements. So for this first one, we're just laying the groundwork, digging into the core concepts from Chapter 1. So where do we even begin? Well, we have to start with the single biggest shift in the history of television, the move away from all that clunky, old-school analog hardware to a totally software-defined digital world. It's what we call the Great Digital Transformation, and believe me, it has changed absolutely everything. Here's a good way to think about it. A major TV station today is basically running a data center that's as complex as one you'd find at a big tech company. But, and this is a huge but, this data center has its own really unique, totally non-negotiable demands that you just don't find anywhere else. It's a whole different ballgame. And to make sense of it all, we can actually boil it down to 6 fundamental rules. These rules are what really separate the world of broadcast IT from, traditional corporate IT. They basically define an entirely different universe of challenges and, of course, solutions. And here they are, the 6 unbreakable rules. Real-time performance isn't just a goal, it's absolute. Availability isn't just important, it's non-negotiable. The bandwidth demands are just extraordinary. Timing has to be critically precise. They use all these specialized protocols. And security? Well, security is a matter of public safety. So let's dive into what makes a few of these so incredibly different. What's really great about this is the analogy it draws. A regular corporate network, it's like a reliable family sedan. It gets the job done, it's pretty good. But a broadcast network, that is a Formula One car. It is engineered from the ground up for absolute deterministic performance where any delays are measured in microseconds, not milliseconds. And downtime, forget about it. It is completely and totally unacceptable. Let's talk about rule number 3 for a second, that extraordinary bandwidth. To give you some perspective, this number, 1.5 gigabits per second, that's the bandwidth you need for just one single uncompressed HD video stream. That's more than the entire internet connection for a lot of small businesses, for just one of dozens of video feeds they're handling. And it just skyrockets from there. What about moving to 4K? Well, the bandwidth for that one stream jumps to a staggering 12 gigabits per second. Now just try to imagine a control room that's juggling dozens of these streams all at once. The scale is just massive. It's truly mind-boggling. Now let's talk about rule number 2, non-negotiable availability. In the IT world, you hear people talk about 5 nines of uptime. While for a TV station, that isn't just some goal they're trying to hit, it's the real target. And why is that? Because even a few seconds of downtime during a live event means dead air, which is instantly visible to millions of people. Let's be real, there are no maintenance windows during the Super Bowl. So how do they keep everything perfectly in sync? Well, that brings us to rule number 4, and this little piece of technical magic called Precision Time Protocol, or PTP. You can think of it like a hyper-accurate atomic clock for the entire network. It makes sure every single camera, switcher, and graphics machine is synchronized right down to the microsecond. This is absolutely critical for seamless switching, and honestly, there's just no parallel for it in the traditional IT world. All of these rules, they exist for a really simple reason. In the world of broadcast, failure isn't just some inconvenience. It's not like your email going down for 5 minutes. The stakes here are very, very real, and they go far beyond just entertainment. This quote from the report really just says it all, doesn't it? You can't just reboot a server and tell millions of people to hang on for 5 minutes. Every single second counts, and the consequences of a failure are immediate, they're public, and they are massive. So the entire system is designed from the ground up to prevent that from ever happening. And it gets even more serious than that. This exact same infrastructure is responsible for broadcasting emergency alerts. We're not just talking about showing the right commercial. This is a regulated public safety function. A failure here could genuinely put people in danger,
which is why organizations like the FCC have such incredibly strict oversight.
So what have we done here? We've laid out the fundamental principles that make broadcast IT such a unique beast. This is the foundation, the groundwork we need to understand everything that's going to come next in this series. So, the crucial point is this. If you remember anything from our little explainer today, it should be that broadcast IT is basically governed by a different set of physical laws: absolute real-time performance, non-negotiable 24/7 availability, and these mind-boggling bandwidth demands. They aren't just nice-to-have features, they are the absolute price of entry. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to end on. With rules this strict and demands this high, what kind of network architecture could possibly handle all this pressure without just completely breaking? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into in part 2. Thanks for tuning in.